Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another vlog. It is Monday morning. I am just about to set up Avery's feed. So today's vlog I think is going to be a bit of a day in the life, or just a vlog filmed over one day. You guys know sometimes I like to film over a few days. But there is definitely something I would like to talk about in this video, and I will get to that later. In the meantime, I have a little bit of housework to do. Eli, bless him, we think has come down with slap cheek, which I did some research on. Apparently it's only a very mild viral infection. So I straight away called the hospital and asked for Avery's viral results, and they said that nothing had grown. That doesn't necessarily mean she didn't have a viral infection. I mean, we know she's got a viral infection, it's obvious. It just means that nothing grew on the culture. Basically he spent all of yesterday in his room, which is, I'm making that sound way worse than it is. He's got everything in his room. He's got all his games consoles, all his toys. Zach was up there with him, he was fine. But because we don't know for sure that it was what Avery had, that they have the same thing, we don't want to risk Avery getting ill on top of already being ill, especially since her last illness landed us in the hospital. So we're just trying to be cautious. Again, he's fine, and I am sending him to school today because he's absolutely fine in himself. And it is a mild viral infection, which I guess is on par with a cold, so you wouldn't not send a child to school with a cold. Not only that, he has only just started, so, and I've seen a huge improvement in kind of his mood and attitude since he's been going. So he's going to school, just me and Avery today. She was up in the night last night. She was up from about 1 until 4. So safe to say I'm a bit tired. She is happy as Larry. She's woken up in a brilliant mood. It's just, I am just tired. I felt more awake at 4 in the morning than I did at 7 o'clock this morning. So yeah, I think this day's gonna be a bit of a struggle. Hello, Pudding. Hello, Pudding. Are you a smiley girl? Are you a smiley girl? Happy girly, Mummy's got your food. Mummy's got your food. Are you hungry? Oh dear. Oh, that nasty cough. That nasty cough. When will it go away? There you go. You're gonna get a full tummy. You're gonna get a full tummy. So, like I said, I've got a few bits to get done this morning, just houseworky type things. I need to empty the bins. I've got quite a few dishes to wash and put away. A load of washing to go on. Get the boys to school. So yeah, Avery also has a disabled children's occupational therapist appointment this morning. I've asked her to come out just to check a few bits of equipment to make sure Avery's not getting too big, and also I just want her to check the angle of the bed. We've kind of guesstimated 30 degrees. This is the angle Avery's been on, and she's been tolerating it really, really well. As a matter of fact, apart from last night, she's been sleeping so well in this bed. She looks tiny in it, I'm not gonna lie. But she's really been liking it, and I mean, it's ugly. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a very ugly bed, but we are throwing about the idea of perhaps making a cover to go around the blue, because the likelihood is Avery's probably going to have this bed for a very long time. So we're thinking about maybe getting like a removable cover that can go on top of the blue. We'd have to figure out how to make sure it doesn't kind of tamper with the bed itself, the way it moves and whatnot. But yeah, I think maybe even like a really thin kind of tablecloth type fabric, just something that's wipeable, but just something that's more neutral in colour. Maybe like a beige or something, just to tie in with her room a little bit better, because it's not the prettiest of colours, and it very much looks like a hospital bed at the moment. So yeah, that might be something we do in the future. I still don't have a tall boy set for her, a drawer set, a tall drawer set basically, because we haven't yet sold the drawer that was in her room, and my plan is to use the money from selling those drawers to buy the new set of drawers, just to save a little bit of money. So we're just waiting for someone to show some interest in the drawers. I mean, they're pretty decent quality, they're practically as new, and they were from IKEA, so the bonus in buying IKEA secondhand is you don't have to build it. So yeah, also I've managed to find a way to keep my fringe back without it looking like a fringe, or like I've tried to keep a fringe back. Texturizing powder is my new best friend. It just gives it enough texture to be able to put it behind my ears, and the bits don't really fall forward. I mean, at the minute it is definitely hair washing day for me, I think, so I popped a bit of hairspray in it as well, which I don't love the look of it. It makes it look a bit greasy. It's not greasy, I've just got a ton of hairspray in it. But the texturizing powder is like a matte finish, so it's been working really well. So I'm pleased I finally found a way to keep my fringe out of my face without it looking like I'm trying to hide a fringe. If ever I say I'm contemplating cutting a fringe again, guys, please call me out on it. It has been torture growing this fringe out, and I really regret doing it to myself. So yeah, I'm gonna crack on, see what I can get done before the boys go to school. Well, that ended up being an insanely manic rush. Avery pooped and puked, like quite a lot of puke, right before we needed to leave for the school run, so I had to quickly suction her off just to help her clear it, stick her in her bath seat and run the shower over her, stick her in a robe and lots of blankets and get the boys to school. So she's just finished her feed just now, and need to get her dressed and give her hair a brush. She was sick all in her hair, so I had to wash her hair off, didn't I? That wasn't very good. This always seems to happen on a Monday morning, but bright side I suppose, it makes the rest of the week feel easier. She has been pretty explosive this week, so I'm not going to put anything new on her today. I think I'm just going to stick with super comfy and not new, basically. So I think this will do today. That's much better. Okay, Pudding, shall we restart the day? I think we need to. That was manic. Okay, so I did manage to get a few bits done this morning before Avery exploded everywhere. I've still got a few more things to do in terms of housework. I've still got to take the bin bag out. Oh my goodness, Pudding, you're getting heavy. You are getting so heavy. Yes, you are. Are you getting heavy? So yesterday Josh was just laying on the floor with Avery, as he does sometimes, playing with her, and he started to laugh, and Avery started laughing, and I mean like a full-blown belly laugh. I did upload a short, by the time you see in this video it would have been probably about a week or so ago, of it basically, and honestly I've never heard her laugh like that before. she has done like some really short belly laughs before, like if we've been throwing her in the air or tickling her or kind of doing something physical with her like that. But she's never just started to laugh on her own back like that, and never continuous. So I feel like I've been waiting so long for her laugh to kind of develop and for her to start laughing normally, like instead of just, you know, when we're actively trying to make her laugh. And it was the most beautiful sound, wasn't it? So really big milestone hit, which we're very excited about. That is my phone ringing, so I better go answer it. Avery is just doing a bit of tummy time. No surprises, I'm in my dressing gown because it's cold. I absolutely adore this. This was a birthday present from Little Harbour to Avery, and I just think it is so sweet. Yeah, you like the colours, don't you? So the OT has been round, her bed is fine. She asked how the bath seat was going as well, that is fine. But yeah, so just had a bit of a chat about how things are going and whatnot. Good girl, good girl. And then I spent a bit of time on the phone to our travel insurance company for Avery's travel insurance for our trip to Orlando. I'm furious, I'm not gonna lie. We did update all of Avery's kind of conditions and kind of what's happened in the last year and a half since we booked the insurance, because she has cerebral palsy. She was 6 months old when we booked it. Things are going to change, that is quite obvious. And then this morning, or last night should I say, when I was up with Avery at about 2 AM, I thought to myself, oh, I didn't let them know about the cerebral visual impairment, because it is plastered all over her medical letters as a strong suspicion. So not technically diagnosed, however, if you know anything about cerebral palsy or conditions like cerebral palsy, there's no test for it. There's no, you know, test that will definitively say yes they have it or no they don't. It's a case of seeing how they develop and seeing how they evolve as they develop, kind of the same as cerebral palsy and cerebral visual impairment. And I tried explaining this to them, but basically what they've said is it's going to have to go to the underwriters because they may not be able to insure her because it's not officially diagnosed. So I'm supposed to hear back from them in the next 72 hours. I'm feeling pretty on edge because we go in 5 weeks. And obviously travelling without medical insurance is non-negotiable. We can't do it. So yeah, just I'm feeling really on edge. I'm infuriated and a little bit disgusted. Purely because I'm not sure which video it was, but I think it might have been the last one. I mentioned that they tried to charge us an, oh dear, an extortionate additional premium because of me updating Avery's conditions, and the difference was when she was 6 months old she wasn't classed as wheelchair bound or immobile, whereas now because she is 2 she is classed as that in their eyes. Even though, you know, she may still walk, she may just not be in that stage of her development. Because she is 2 and should be walking by now, they are classing her as wheelchair bound. They tried to up our premium by 4 times the amount in addition to what we had already paid. And I went back and forth with them for days, and ultimately it came down to we pay it or she's not covered. So that ate away at my savings, and I think if this trip wasn't so important to us, just out of principle, I probably would have turned around and said no. But this trip is very important to us, and now I'm on edge about it. You know, I really had hopes that this was going to be the trip where we didn't feel completely nervous and on edge all the way to the lead up, because we like the lead up, we enjoy the lead up. And when we went to Disneyland Paris, we had the issue with her passport, and we didn't actually get her passport until about 2 days before we left, so that kind of spoilt the build up. Yeah, so feeling a bit annoyed, not gonna lie. I am just gonna have to... Where are you trying to go? Where are you trying to go, Missy? I'm just gonna have to wait and see what they say. I find it completely ridiculous, because there isn't really any risk to having cerebral visual impairment. It's not like, you know, she's visually impaired and it's gonna hinder her walking or, you know, anything like that, because those things are already affected. Cerebral visual impairment is literally just affecting her development as such. It's not going to put her at risk of going to hospital. It's not going to put her at risk of needing treatment while we're out there. So I just find the whole thing really ridiculous, and I feel like they need more staff in their call centres that are trained with children's developmental disorders or conditions, because they just don't seem to have a clue what you're talking about. Also, cerebral visual impairment wasn't even in their list of conditions. And as far as I know, it's a pretty common condition for children with cerebral palsy, so I also found that quite mad, but it is what it is. We just have to wait and see. But I'm on edge. I'm feeling quite nervous. So I've got about half an hour before I have to go and pick the boys up from school, and there's a topic I really wanted to talk about today, especially after everything I've experienced with the insurance company over the last few days. And considering March is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, I thought it would be the perfect time to do it. Over the last, well, the last 2 years really, but I've especially felt it over the last couple of months, and even more so the last couple of days. I feel as though the world has still got a long way to go in terms of inclusiveness. And I was speaking to Avery's disabled children's occupational therapist about this earlier, and those were her words. The world has still got a very long way to go. And I've got so many examples that I've experienced, and I just wanted to share, basically. So obviously everything I'm saying is in my opinion, and of course there are, you know, some scenarios where I do kind of understand both sides being the company or whatever it is versus family of a special needs child. I mean, let's start with the insurance. As much as I understand that they have to raise the price for risk factors, the fact that they raise the price as much as they do, considering people with disabilities, people with medical conditions, it's not a choice, you know, it's not something they've chosen. Now, I'd completely understand if a travel insurance company wanted to raise the price because the person taking out the insurance was going mountain climbing or deep sea diving or doing some kind of risky activity. I would understand that, but for a child who has no say in the matter on her disabilities or his, or not even a child, a person in general, for insurance companies to be able to charge that much, and a lot of the time it is the insurance companies that specialise in pre-existing medical conditions that do it, because they know that we are more limited in terms of where we can go for travel insurance. There are a lot of companies that just won't insure a child like Avery, so we are limited and they corner the market. And I find that that kind of applies in a lot of different areas. I feel like families, parents, or just people in general that are disabled, have children that are disabled or have complex medical needs, are very much backed into a corner when it comes to purchases and just things that we need to do or get. And what happens when you have a market backed into a corner and you know that that market needs your product is you raise the price because you can't go elsewhere. And I just think it's extortionate, and it's really starting to frustrate me Take sensory equipment, for example, sensory toys. There are websites that specialise in sensory equipment and sensory toys, and now and again you might spot a product that you've also seen on Amazon for a fraction of the price, and a lot of the time it's the same thing. A lot of these companies are once again just cornering the market because they know that there isn't that much out there, and then they add on zeros to the price. These things are definitely not made for anywhere near close to the price that they're selling them for. They are making a ton of profit, and they're making a profit because we have nowhere else to go. Adaptive clothing, there is another example. When have you ever seen an affordable supermarket brand stock adaptive clothing? I don't know about in the US, but here in the UK I don't know of any. The adaptive clothing you will find are all on very small business websites or Etsy shops, and don't get me wrong, I do feel like small businesses should be supported. However, once again, I feel as though the prices on these things are much more expensive. A vest that has a zipper on the front that's sold on Etsy, bearing in mind this is probably a vest that has been bought in a supermarket and then has had a zip sewn into it, is about the same price of maybe a pack of 5 vests that you can get in the supermarket. Now personally, I think the supermarkets should make these vests themselves and sell them for the same price of normal vests. Once again, we buy these things because it makes life easier when life is really, really difficult. It's not like we're buying them for cosmetic reasons because we think they're pretty. It's a necessary, you know. It's so much easier for Avery to have a zip on her vest. Number one, it means that she can still wear a vest and we can still have access to her tube easily, so it keeps her warmer. Number two, not all clothing is suitable for a G-tube. You can't really get to it easily without pretty much stripping her off wherever we are to get to it. Just another example of how the market has been cornered and the prices are much higher because it's a specific market, it's a specific niche, and I feel like when that niche, that market is already a vulnerable one, because 9 times out of 10 if you're shopping for a child that has special needs, you are most likely going to be a parent or a carer, which means you may have been through some trauma in your life. Your life is probably a lot harder than most people's. I mean, I say that subjectively, obviously there's always going to be somebody in a worse position than you, but generally it's not easy, and I feel like we just need to be cut a little bit of slack. Now once again, I understand the other side. These things obviously take a little bit more time to make, I get that. However, it's not that much time. Making a vest versus making a vest with a zip in the centre does not take that much more time or money to justify the price tag. Let's talk parks for a minute. So play areas, just outdoor play areas for children. Where I live in the southwest of England, I do not know of many that have adaptive equipment, and I know I'm not the only person that feels this way, not necessarily in the southwest of England, but just in general. There needs to be more adaptive equipment in play parks, because why should our children miss out on going to a play area? Why shouldn't they get to enjoy it just as much as everyone else? So Little Harbour, and if you are new to my channel, Little Harbour is a children's hospice, and we go there every now and again to spend some pressure-free family time. It is really, really lovely there. But anyway, my point is, they have a little play area outside, some just play equipment such as like a roundabout, swings, things like that, and it is all accessible. Every single thing there is accessible to wheelchair users, to children with poor posture support. I don't see why that can't just become the norm, because equipment like that can be used by everyone. It is completely accessible. Children that don't have disabilities can use it, children that do have disabilities can use it, and I don't understand why there would be such an extra cost to build something like that as opposed to your standard equipment. I mean, it would take the same amount of metal. Maybe it would require more permits or, you know, regulation checks or whatever, but why not? For the sake of being inclusive, for the sake of all children getting equal opportunities, why not? I mean, children are completely innocent. They didn't deserve to be disabled. They didn't deserve to have medical needs. They didn't choose to. they are completely blameless. I just don't think it's fair. I mean, I think you can tell just how enraged I'm getting about it, especially just over the last few days. I'm furious, and I'm just really, like, my eyes are just really being opened up to just how discriminatory the world really is. I think we like to believe that we live in a modern, inclusive world, and don't get me wrong, it has come a very, very long way. But when you really look deeply, there is so much to be improved on. There are so many easy, simple changes that could be made that could make a child with disabilities or complex medical needs lives easier and make their families' lives easier, and not even just easier but more comparable to families that don't have children with disabilities. And I know it's not just disabilities that, you know, are the victim of inequality and injustice. I know that, but obviously I'm speaking through personal experience. I do think that we are very lucky to live where we live. We're very lucky to have been born where we live. We're very lucky and fortunate to have a lot of the things we have, but at the end of the day, I'm always going to fight for my children to have more, because they deserve more. They deserve to have the same opportunities as everybody else. And again, not just disabilities. Let's take gender, for example, and I don't want to go off on too much of a side tangent on this because that is a whole can of worms that I really don't want to get involved in. But I heard about something called the pink tax, and when I kind of looked into it and thought about it a little bit more, I realised it is so true. Women's razors are more expensive than men's. Sanitary products are just, the price is going higher and higher. And Josh was telling me the other day that apparently they've designed a new nappy that is especially for girls because, I don't know, the lining is a certain way or something. But they're way more expensive than standard nappies. Why is that? Because they're targeted to girls, and because they've then narrowed the market down, they can charge more. I don't think it's fair. I think it's downright extortion, and I'm just getting really, really sick of it. And I know that my voice can't change the world. I know that this is just something we're gonna have to live with. But yeah, I just really wanted to get that off my chest, and please do let me know if you feel the same or if you have a different viewpoint. Again, this is just my opinion, and I'm not very educated. I'm speaking through experience, but I just think the price tag to being disabled and still wanting to, you know, live a well life isn't fair. Even the medical equipment, you know, Standers, the Expander, you know, the P-pods, just all of the kind of special needs equipment, the price tag on these things are absolutely ridiculous. In one aspect, I get it, especially for, you know, equipment as complex as a Stander that needs to go through a lot of research. I understand why the price would be high. However, I guarantee that the profit margin on that equipment is insane because it's a narrow market. It is either going to be you know, the NHS purchasing these things, or it is going to be families that have special needs children that just want their child to get the best support they can. And we don't have any other choice other than to let our children miss out, and it doesn't feel like it's fair. But yeah, I've just started ranting again. I'm sorry, but yeah, I've got it off my chest. It's just something I really wanted to say, and yeah, I'm mad. I'm a mad mama at the moment. Aren't I, Pudding? I just want you to have the best. Okay, rant over. Avery's just having a little bit of chill out time. I am going to go and sort her feed and medicine out in just a second before we have to go and get the boys from school. I've just had a delivery, and you guys know that I like to open parcels that I get with you because I don't know, I like to be nosy and watch what other people have got, so I do the same. So I made a little order on boots because I have noticed a big change in my skin over the last few years. I feel like my skin has really changed in texture, and it's gone from being where I was quite oily to now I'm going quite dry, and honestly I just think it is age, and I feel like I just want to start taking better care of myself in certain aspects. Now, I can't tackle everything, I don't eat the best, I'm not the healthiest of people, but we do what is convenient in this family, we do what is convenient in this lifestyle. So there are small areas where I feel like I can make myself feel a little bit better, take care of myself, which I think is really important. So I have treated myself and spent a little bit of money on skincare, nothing too expensive. I'm not gonna lie, I got drawn in by all the high-end stuff, but then I saw the price and I was like, no, I can't justify it. So I got a few bits, and I thought, I wash my face every day, and if I can just take a little bit of extra time, just a couple of minutes, to do my skincare every day, hopefully I will feel better and my skin will benefit. I kind of did the same with hair care, so I purchased a few hair care items, just like a leave-in conditioner and a hair oil and just some decent-ish shampoo and conditioner. Now don't get me wrong, it wasn't like Redken or anything, it was the catwalk stuff, the TG catwalk stuff, and so far I've really been enjoying it, just because I want to take care of my hair a bit better because it's damaged and it's dry, and why not? The first thing I have actually just noticed, now this is definitely not something I've bought, so I'm wondering, is it a free sample of something? Dior, that is very exciting. Oh, it is a little sample of the J'adore perfume. I've never actually used this before, but that is a really nice surprise. Oh, okay, that is it there, super duper cute. Nice surprise. I don't know what qualified me to get a free sample. I don't think I spent, I said I don't think I spent that much. I know I didn't spend that much money. Dior celebrates Mother's Day. This house of Dior is pleased to invite you to the beloved Granville garden of Christian Dior's childhood. In honour of this special day, discover Dior's latest fragrance creation, New J'adore Perfume d'Eau. I don't speak French, so I've probably just butchered all of that. The J'adore White Flowers bouquet is reinvented in a water base for a new natural sensation, an innovative concentration of flowers and water for an intense and long-lasting eau de parfum. Scan the QR code to buy and leave your review. Dior wishes you a happy Mother's Day. That is actually really, really sweet. It is Mother's Day this coming Sunday here in the UK. I don't think it's the same date for the US. But anyway, these are the bits that I bought. So I wanted a new cleanser slash makeup remover, because I do have a cleanser that I already really love. I use the CeraVe salicylic acid cleanser. I've been using that for years and I really like it, but I just wanted something a bit more hydrating for when I do wear makeup, not that it's very often, but just for when I do. So I actually purchased this one. This was one of the cheapest ones. It is the Soap and Glory Cleansing Balm. So I'll see how I get on with that. I also wanted a new toner just because mine was running out, so I picked up a Carbon Theory Tea Tree Oil and Citric Acid toner. I have always used a toner in my skincare routine, number one, because I feel like I like to make sure my skin is clean because I am prone to breakouts. Number two, because I don't always have time to wash my face in the morning, and if I don't, I'll just take a cotton pad and wipe some toner over my face, and then at least I know I've gotten rid of some of the gunk that's built up overnight. I also picked up a new moisturiser. I do already have a vitamin C moisturiser, just the Boots own one, but this is the Elf Skin Cannabis Sativa Happy Hydration Cream. I'm not big on cannabis or CBD or anything like that, but I have heard it is good in skincare, so I was intrigued and I just wanted to switch up my moisturiser. I do like the one I have, but I feel like it doesn't really make my skin less dry over time. So it feels hydrating when it goes on, but then over time I feel as though my skin's still quite, you know, dry and textured. I also bought this vitamin C brightening booster serum. I do already have a hyaluronic acid serum from the INCLUSIVENESS that I've really been enjoying. Oh, I thought I'd literally just broken it or something then, but the dropper comes separately. I just wanted to add another serum in, just again for extra hydration and just for extra skincare benefits. And then last but not least, I bought this Mario Badescu facial spray. I bought the aloe, herbs and rose water one. The reason I actually bought this is to spray on after makeup. Again, because my skin's quite dry, it tends to just suck the moisture out of any makeup and then it just looks dry. So I just thought I could spray that on top and hopefully it might make it a little bit more dewy. That was kind of more with Orlando in mind, because I feel like, especially since my body will tan faster than my face, I might want to wear a bit of makeup, especially since we're going to be taking a lot of photos out there. And I don't want my makeup to look dry, so I bought that. I essentially just really want to get my skin looking nice for when we go away, and I can't be the only one that does that, that just wants to do all of the treatments and do everything before a holiday, because you just want to feel and look your best when you're on holiday. A lot of pictures are always taken, there's a lot of memories from when you go on holiday, and I want to remember myself feeling and looking good. So that is my plan. And again, this trip means a lot to us. All in all, after everything that's gone on the last couple of days, how much money we've had to pay for Avery's travel insurance, we've kind of come to the conclusion that it is not likely that family holidays are going to be on the cards for us regularly, because, you know, the trip itself is expensive. We can't take the boys out of school again. We always knew that this would be a one-off because it was a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and if you know, you know that holidays are expensive in the school holiday. See, this is just another, I'm going off on a rant again now, this is just another one of these corner the market and raise the price rants, because as soon as schools said that absences in term time would no longer be authorised, all of the holiday companies shot up the prices in the school holidays. I think that's absolutely unfair, it's extortionate, and it's the reason why there's a lot of families that can't go on family holidays. Long story short, I don't think we're going to be able to go on a family holiday again for a very long time, which makes me really sad, because travelling is one of the things that I love to do. And the other thing I love to do is spend time with my family, and we can't afford to do it. The travel insurance alone is ridiculous, and Avery's conditions are just kind of piling on top of each other, and the more conditions that she has, the more expensive it is. I mean, she doesn't have an epilepsy diagnosis at the moment, but in the future, one day she may. Who knows? And at that point, I know that the price will go up even more, and it's sad. Oh, actually, that reminds me, on my video where I was talking about all the things that I have done to plan for Orlando in terms of Avery and her special needs, the person that asked me about the car seat and whether I had checked if it was legal in America, thank you so much, because I had not checked that, and then when I did look into it, turns out it is not. The EU regulations are not the same as the US regulations, and Avery's car seat doesn't meet the US regulations. So now I need to hire a car seat through our car rental company, but had you have not said that, I wouldn't know, and we would have taken her car seat and been none the wiser that we were breaking the law. So thank you so much, that was incredibly helpful, and it just goes to show that I really don't know everything. I think I've rambled on enough in this video. Thank you for listening to me rant, and once again, all my own opinions, please don't come for me if you don't agree. It's just, I needed to get it off my chest because I'm getting really angry. I'm getting a lot of built up anger at just the world in general and how inaccessible it is, and yeah, I'm not even going to start again. Anyway, so with all that said, I'm going to leave this vlog here. If you did enjoy it, then please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you would like to follow us along on our journey, and I will see you all in a few days with another video. Bye guys.